What's going on, guys? It's your boy Dwayne from Always Accurate Tech Talks. Today I want to talk to you about some things that I wish that I have known prior to putting solar panels on my house. So let's get into it. First of all, guys, I want you to understand that nothing is free. Nothing is free, right? When you decide that you want to purchase solar panels, understand that even though your sales rep, even though the company is telling you, oh, these solar panels are free, you don't have to do anything, nothing's free. Know how everybody's getting paid. You need to know how everybody's getting paid. If you decide that you want to purchase solar panels, the first thing they're going to ask you is, let me run a credit check. Okay? They want to run a credit check because they want to see how much solar panels that they can sell you. The next thing they're going to ask you is let me get a copy of your electrical bill. So what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to tie the electrical bill into your power plant. So ideally what they want to do is they want to have a proportion of your electrical bill go towards the actual, the solar is going to go towards that actual electrical bill. It is not to help you guys. It is just to get an idea and to gauge you so that they can sell you better on the understanding that, okay, you're doing 12,000 kilowatts a year, and I'm gonna put, a 10,000 kilowatt solar panel system on your house. And when I put this on your house, that's gonna reduce your energy cost by X amount of dollars. Okay, that's the whole purpose, and what they're actually trying to sell you guys is that we're gonna reduce your energy costs. So know how people get paid. If you decide that you're gonna buy that solar system, you're going to get all the tax breaks off the solar system. Your solar company will not get the tax breaks on the solar system. You will get those tax breaks. If you decide you're going to lease it, and they're going to lean you towards leasing because it's a twofold, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. If they lean you towards leasing, they're going to recoup the tax benefits because you don't own the power plant. They own the power plant. So if you go to leasing, they're going to say no money down. We can put a 10,000 kilowatt power plant system on your house. You're going to lease it. At the end of the year, they're going to pitch to you. They're going to pitch to you that you're going to get the tax breaks, that we're going to give you a tax cut. But when you go to file your taxes, you don't own the solar system. I did this. This happened to me, and I did not know. I wish I had known that. The solar company got the actual tax breaks on the actual power plant system. And on top of that, they get charged a portion of your electrical bill. A portion of that goes back towards the solar company. Like I've seen a charge on my bill of like $25, $30. It fluctuates depending on how much energy I make, but that money goes back to my solar company. Here in South Carolina, you can only put a power plant so big on your property. You can't put a total, you can't totally consume all your electricity with your power plant. You can only put a certain portion of the power plant, of your total electricity on a power plant, renewable energy. Do your research, guys. I can't explain that enough. Make sure you do your research because that's going to tie into what I said earlier. If you don't understand how everybody gets paid, then before you know it, you're going to get upset. You're going to be mad. Know how much a solar system costs. Know how much a solar system costs. Don't just say, okay, X company is giving me a better deal. No, they're not giving you a better deal. The solar companies 90% of the time do not make the solar panels. You can buy the solar panels yourself. So understand how everybody gets paid and how much a solar system costs. Because one thing I didn't realize on my solar system was even after I paid for my solar system, they're still going to do a market value of my solar system and decide whether it's beneficial for me. I'm going to have to decide whether it's beneficial for me to buy this power plant or have them come take it off my house. So at the end of the day, worst case scenario or best case scenario, I've paid $25,000, $30,000 for this solar panel system that I'm leasing from the company. I don't own it. They're getting the tax breaks on it. I'm sending them a payment every month of say $25 off of my electrical bill based on the amount of electricity that I'm generating. And on top of that, I'm paying the leasing bill. So are you saving any money? I would say no. I would say I'm not saving any money, because you're still going to get a bill from your electric company. If your solar system goes down or it's not working properly, it's not producing enough energy, that's what happened to me. I still had to pay a bill to my electric company. And sometimes that bill could be in excess of, $100, $200, $300. And then you still got to pay your leasing amount to the solar company. You still got to pay. So you're paying basically double the amount on your electrical bill. So understand, what you're actually getting into, before you actually decide you want to venture out there. And here's a misconception. The misconception is that if I put solar on my house and my electricity goes out, then I have electricity. Everybody else is in the dark. That's not how it works, guys. Okay? If your electricity goes out at your house, what happens is your solar system is gonna cut off. And the reason your solar system is gonna cut off because every so often the little box that they attach to the side of your house is sending electricity back to the grid to let the grid know I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. Kind of like computer software or computer programs. When you go and you get, a Wi-Fi address, that computer is constantly sending things back to your whatever it is, your cell phone or whatever, is constantly sending a message back to that DHCP server and say, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. That happens with your solar system. So if the power goes out and it can't send that message back to your to your electrical company, then it cuts off. And it cuts off because if anything happened where you have to actually go and the electrical company has to come out and work on your power lines, they don't want your solar system producing electricity and sending it back across those power lines. So they just cut your solar system off. So how do you combat that? You combat that by putting batteries in your home. So what you do is you put these batteries, so if that solar system goes out, the electricity goes down, what happens is it'll send a message that the grid is down, and then the batteries kick in. So any solar that's coming off of your house is still going to the batteries, and you're charging your batteries and you're powering your house off of those batteries. Nothing's going back to the grid. It's still isolated from the grid. So that signal is still being sent back to the grid to say, I'm here, every so often to see when the grid comes back up. When the grid comes back up, boom, everything kicks back into operation, and then you start pulling power from the grid if needed. That's how a solar system works, guys. I was confused too. I thought that once I got my solar system, the first thing I would do is I would jump in there, and if the power goes out, I still have power. That's not the case. You need batteries for that to happen, and it needs to be isolated from the grid. I want to reiterate a few things, guys. I'm looking at my notes here. Make sure you read the contract. Don't rely on advertisement. Don't rely on that sales rep, because we understand how people get paid. The sales reps are going to get paid off of selling you the contract. The solar company is going to get paid by that stipend off of your bill. They're going to get paid by your lease or your purchase, and they're going to get paid by the tax breaks, depending on which route you go, leasing or buying. Know what size power plant you're in need. When they run your credit, they're going to come back and tell you what kind of power plant you qualify for. If you want a bigger power plant, say I want a bigger power plant. So the fact that they're running your credit is not to help you, it's to help them decide how much I can sell him a power plant for. When that sales rep get that back, he's going to say, okay, I can give you a 5 kilowatt system. I can give you a 4 kilowatt system. Even though you need a 10 kilowatt system, your credit does not qualify you for that. So understand that and how everything happened. Make sure you understand how everybody gets paid, as I previously explained. Understand that your electrical company is gonna tell you exactly how much you can actually produce. Like here in South Carolina, I think the most that we can do is 20 kilowatts. That's what I think. But most people don't need a 20 kilowatt system anyway. So make sure you understand that. Do your research on solar. As I explained, if your power goes out and you don't have batteries, your solar cuts off. You don't have electricity in your house. Time of use agreements. Time of use agreements. Time of use agreements is a thing that we're going to here in South Carolina. If you don't understand, here in South Carolina, we just had a meeting with the board, and Dominion Energy, what they wanted to do, they wanted to charge us $19 a month if we had a power plant on our house. But we came to an agreement, and the agreement is that we would go to a time of use agreement. Time of use agreements, they're not bad, but in order for you to take advantage of a time of use agreement, what you're gonna have to understand is that you're gonna have to have batteries. Solar's not gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to have batteries, and how that works is like, I have Tesla batteries, so I can go in, and when my electricity is the highest, when they're charging me the highest rate, and it's usually based on the time of the day, when it charges me the highest rate, I'll kick in my battery. I won't charge. I use the solar to power my house, and everything else will go to the battery. And then when the power kicks in and electricity gets high, then my batteries will kick in and power my house. I'll charge my batteries when it's cheap, and then I'll deplete my batteries when the power is high, and I don't have to use the electricity from the grid. So that's time of use agreements. We're going to that here in South Carolina. So before, if you had solar, any excess energy that you produced went back to the grid, and basically your meter ran backwards. So it would just take it off your bill. That's still gonna happen, but with time of use, it's gonna be different times of the day. The energy is gonna cost more. Example, probably from 5 to like 9, the energy is gonna be high because everybody's home, everybody's cooking, everybody's on YouTube, everybody's doing their family things. You're doing that time of day, so the price of the electricity is gonna go up. That's the time that your batteries can kick in, and you can pull the energy from your batteries. Okay. And last thing, leasing versus buying. So understand, if you lease the power plant, then your solar company is gonna take advantage of all the information, all the tax breaks and all that. If you buy it, then you get the actual discount. So if I'm leasing my solar panel. So I pay, they got all the tax breaks on it. I pay them every month, a lease amount. And then I also give them a portion of the money of the power that the solar system actually produced. If I would have bought that, I would have got the tax break. So instead of my power plant system costing me $25,000, I would have got a tax break, so say $8,000 to $10,000 or whatever it was at the time that I purchased, and that would have been deducted from my solar system. So the price of my solar would have came down, and it would have not taken as long as for me to break even on the actual power plant system. So understand these things, guys. You know, a lot of people stop by my house and they ask me, are these solar panels really worth it? They are, and they're not. If you understand how everybody gets paid and how much energy you are producing, what size power plant system you actually need, then it can be beneficial. I run servers here at my house. I run servers, so because I run servers, I basically break even. Just to run those servers cost me about $50, $60 a month. So I basically break even, whereas my neighbor, he's an older gentleman across the street from me, he don't consume that much energy. So his bill, he don't have a bill. Every month, it just washes his bill out. So it's beneficial to him. It's beneficial to him. So I just wanted to make this quick video, guys, because a lot of people have been asking me, are these solar panels really worth it? Is it worth getting into? And I wanted to explain to you how people get paid, you know, some things to look out for when you decide that you want to purchase your solar power plant system. And, you know, basically some things to just think about, guys. Think about before you jump into it. It is not a bad deal, but you got to understand the whole ecosystem and the things that you need to put into place. And it can get expensive. It can get expensive. You know, I have an appointment to put another battery. I have 2 batteries currently. I'm going to put another battery in my house, and then I'll be told I could go the entire day off grid. Right now, I can go about 21 hours. If we have a good sunny day here in South Carolina, we usually get about 7 to 8 hours of sun a day. It starts about 8 o'clock in the morning, tapers off about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. So it depends. We get about 7 to 9 hours of sunlight. And I don't usually go back on the grid to about 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So, and that's with me running servers. I run about probably 7 or 8 servers constantly all day, every day. And it pulls about $60 of power a month. So guys, that's been my little talk on an actual solar power plant system and things to look out for when you decide that you want to purchase it. If you have any comments, or if you want to talk to me, just send me, if you have any comments, leave them down in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, follow us on Facebook and YouTube. And we also have a podcast, Accurate Opinions Podcast. And you can find that podcast at alwaysaccuratemiagroup.com and just click the podcast button. If you don't have any questions, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.